I didn't notice anything wrong at first when I pulled up to that long stretch of Roosevelt Avenue on the north side of town, a place that already feels like a throat clearing before something bad happens. But the moment the man stepped into the dull perimeter of my headlights, I felt this cold twist in my stomach. Not fear exactly, but the sense that something on that empty sidewalk wasn't aligned with the rest of the world. His posture didn't shift with the breeze. His reflection didn't match the timing of his movement in my side mirror. And when he opened the back door, he did it without bending his arm at the elbow. Sent by Adrian L., Helena, Montana. I've been a rideshare driver for 3 years, mostly doing late-night shifts because the drunks tip well and the streets stay quiet. That night was quiet too, quiet in a way that made my ears tense. It had just stopped raining, and the whole road shimmered like the city had been dipped in oil. My first thought was that maybe I was just tired. Maybe my brain lagged for a second and misread his movement. I told myself that because logic felt safer than the truth. The man sat directly behind me, though there were 3 open seats. I heard the wet swish of his coat, but I didn't hear the sound of the fabric settling, like gravity didn't fully apply to him. The air behind me felt colder than the rest of the car. "Where to?" I asked. He didn't answer. My phone loaded the destination automatically, something that shouldn't happen unless the passenger enters it himself. It read, "Return route." I frowned at that. "Sir, I need a real address." That's when things shifted for the first time. The street outside the windshield subtly brightened as if the entire block had rotated toward the moon. Buildings I'd passed earlier seemed a little taller. The street lamps buzzed with a frequency that felt too sharp for my ears. "Drive," the man said. His voice sounded normal. But the timing of the words was wrong, like the audio and lips weren't synced. Against my better judgment, I put the car in drive. I couldn't shake the cold coming from behind me. It wasn't like air conditioning cold. It felt like a presence leaning forward, studying the back of my neck with unnatural stillness. Every few seconds I caught something in the mirror, a part of him that didn't match the rest. His head tilted too far. His eyes didn't blink with the streetlights. His jaw tightened on a rhythm that didn't match breathing. The rule I uncovered that night, though I didn't understand it at first, was this. The thing behind me could only change when I wasn't looking at its reflection. The restriction was even worse. Looking directly at it didn't help. Only the mirror kept it fixed. Its signature behavior was this faint, dry rattling sound, like loose teeth tapping lightly inside a wooden box. The longer he rode with me, the faster that rattling became. We drove for 10 minutes before the world outside the windows shifted again. At first I thought I had taken a wrong turn. The street names stayed the same, but the buildings subtly changed shape. Corners sharpened, windows stretched, alleys narrowed into dark slivers like the city was inhaling. Street lamps leaned inward, their light forming strange triangles on the asphalt. Every few blocks, the man behind me shuddered in a way that made the glass quake. That's when I tried to call dispatch. My phone dimmed. The screen flickered with colors that didn't look like errors, more like iridescent bruises spreading under the glass. Numbers dissolved into symbols. Even the emergency call button warped out of shape. "Don't do that," the man said. His voice seemed to come from the space between the seats, not behind me. My stomach twisted. The rattling accelerated, now mixed with small clicking noises, like 2 bones being tapped together. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. "Who are you?" "You're returning what was taken," he said, though I had no idea what that meant. The paranoia hit like a wave. The more nervous I became, the less the city outside reflected anything I recognized. Buildings leaned. Cars on the opposite lane drove too smoothly, too perfectly, like fake footage played on a loop. A stop sign rotated slightly on its pole as if watching us. If you're enjoying these true horror stories, make sure to subscribe to Ultra Spooky and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we upload new nightmares. The man leaned closer. I could feel it. A weightless pressure above my shoulder, like someone lowering a hand but stopping just before contact. I snapped my eyes to the mirror. He froze, the only part of the world that stayed the same. His face reflected normally, but the real him didn't match the reflection. In the mirror, his posture was relaxed. In the seat, he was bent forward, his neck too long, vertebrae shifting under the skin like a rope being twisted. That's when I understood the escalation pattern. Every time I failed to look at the mirror, he advanced one unnatural stage toward me. I stared into the mirror again and again, trying to trap him in place. But eventually, roads force you to check blind spots, to merge, to turn. I blinked for half a second too long. His hand appeared on the headrest beside my cheek, thin, pale, and long, with joints in the wrong places. The rattling sound was now directly in my ear. I swerved the car in panic, nearly hitting a lamppost. The buildings around us bowed inward, and the sky above swirled like someone dragging thick paint across a canvas. "What do you want from me?" I shouted. His answer came so close it felt like it vibrated inside my skull. "You returned to the route. Now return the rest." I didn't know what that meant then. I still don't. But as the world warped, I noticed something horrifying. My fuel gauge, battery icon, trip counter, all of them showed numbers I'd never seen before. Not just wrong, impossible. My trip meter ticked backwards. My odometer froze. My clock spun in small, tight circles. I pressed the brake. The car slowed, but the world outside didn't. The buildings glided past at the same speed. Then everything stopped, dead still. The road, the lights, the world, motionless. Only the rattling continued. I checked the mirror. He wasn't in the back seat anymore. My heart slammed against my ribs. I turned slowly, terrified of what I'd find. Nothing, just the empty seat. I stared forward again and nearly vomited. A face was pressed against the inside of the windshield from the outside. Not a full face, just the shape of one. Skin stretched thin across glass. Eye sockets too deep. Teeth tapping in that same rattling pattern. A smear formed where it dragged its cheek along, leaving a pale, cloudy streak. I slammed the gas pedal. The world lurched. The buildings snapped back into their real forms. The sky regained its color. The windshield cleared. And the man was gone. But the destination on my GPS had changed again.
Final entry.
I drove until I reached my apartment. I should have run to my door, but I sat in the car for a long time, gripping the wheel so hard my fingers hurt. My mirror looked normal. My phone worked again. Everything was fine. That's what I thought. Later that night, while lying in bed, I heard it again. A faint rattling sound. Not outside, not in the hallway. Under my bed. I froze, listening as it grew faster, matching my heartbeat until I couldn't tell which was which. I wanted to look. I wanted to scream. But the rule echoed in my head. It only changes when you're not seeing its reflection. I don't have a mirror under my bed, and now something is down there, waiting for me to blink. This was just one of many terrifying true stories from the ultra-spooky archives. Stay tuned for our next tale of horror.